Yo, what is going on, guys? I'm back. Hopefully, you guys saw my YouTube short. If you did, you know exactly what this video is. Today, I'm going to be doing my Week 2 NFL predictions. It's going to be a little weird as I didn't do a Week 1 NFL prediction. So we're just going to start keeping track of my record from Week 2 onwards. Now, let's get started right into this. It's going to take a little while. I don't want this to go too far over 10 minutes because I don't think anyone wants to sit here and watch that. I personally, I probably wouldn't, but I don't know. We'll see. New Orleans Saints versus Dallas Cowboys. I think the Dallas Cowboys got this easily, even if the Saints defense had put on quite the impressive showing against the Carolina Panthers. But, well, that's why I'm not giving it much credit, is because the team they played. The Carolina Panthers are not good. So I think the Dallas Cowboys are going to take this one pretty, not easily, but I say they're going to take this one pretty comfortably. Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Detroit Lions, a rematch of last year's NFL divisional round. It's going to be quite the contest, in my opinion. It's either going to be fireworks or no scoring. I'm going to have to give this one to the Detroit Lions, just like the result of the divisional round. Um, I like how the Detroit Lions play football. I think they're a serious Super Bowl contender this year, like they were last year. I think they should have been in it last year, but we all know what happened. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Uh, I I'd say they're a shoo-in for their division, but to be fair, that's the NFC South, so everyone's a shoo-in for that division. That's not named the Panthers. Detroit Lions take this game. The Colts versus the Packers. Now this would have been an interesting game had Jordan Love not been injured. Now that Jordan Love is out, it's going to be not quite cut and clear who's going to win this game, but I could put a pretty penny on the Colts winning this game, as I don't think Malik Willis is going to be able to even come halfway to fill in the shoes of Jordan Love, who really has had quite the shocking turnaround in his career. At first, I didn't really think there was going to be anything of him. I didn't think anything was going to come of him. I didn't think he was that good. And now he looks like one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL. Too bad he's hurt, so I think the Colts are going to take this one very narrowly, though. Now we got the Jets versus the Titans. The Titans impressed me for 3 quarters last week against the Bears, and then the fourth quarter happened, which is normally where a lot of teams fall apart. Um, yeah, I'm going to have to take the Jets in this one. Aaron Rodgers is still a good quarterback. He couldn't quite show that week 1 against the 49ers, as well. He was kind of limited anyways, and plus Breece Hall's just that good. So I'd look out for the Jets to win this game. 49ers versus Vikings. Now, this game is, I think, potentially going to be a blowout, or it's going to be very shockingly close, because I don't think the Vikings are that good. I'm going to give this one to the 49ers. The 49ers defense is horrifying. Their O-line is really good. And hopefully Christian McCaffrey starts this week. I have him in fantasy, so I could really use the extra points this week. The Vikings, I don't have much to say about them. I mean, aside from Justin Jefferson's existence, they don't really have much else going on. Aaron Jones, I guess, exists too, but the Vikings are a little bit of a mess right now. I don't really know what to say about them. Seattle versus New England. New England definitely impressed in week 1. I'm not going to sit there and tell you otherwise. I didn't expect them to win really 4 games this year, but they might win 4 games this year after that performance. They might win 5 if they're really feeling bold this year. Seattle's going to take this game pretty easily, though, to be honest with you. Even if it's a game in Foxborough, I don't really care. Drake May had a pretty decent game, I'd say, in week 1, but I don't really see him carrying that over against Tariq Woolen and company. The Giants versus the Commanders. This is Tyler's Toilet Bowl of the week. Congratulations of getting the first Toilet Bowl award. The loser of this game will be the ultimate Toilet Bowl of the week, and I got to say the Commanders are going to win this game. I could be wrong. I could be right. I don't know. They're both toilet bowl teams. I don't really care for either one of them, and they're just not good. The Chargers versus the real toilet bowl, the Carolina Panthers. They don't play in the toilet bowl game of the week, but they are the toilet bowls anyways. Chargers are going to take this game very, very comfortably. I'd say probably a 20-point win for the Chargers here. Carolina, they debatably might be worse than last year, which is saying a lot because they didn't actually lead for any point of time in any game last year, they just won on 2 game-winning field goals. So they had a combined 0 seconds of leading in games last year, which is incredible, by the way. If you really care, that is quite incredible to be that bad. Cleveland versus Jacksonville. This is definitely going to be a very competitive game. It's going to be a very back and forth game, or it's going to be a defensive stalemate. There is no in betweens here. I'm going to have to give the benefit of the doubt to Trevor Lawrence and his Jacksonville Jaguars because he's got weapons. Calvin Ridley is a really good wide receiver. Laviska Shenault, I think, exists still. I'm not too sure. Actually, I think he got traded to the Panthers. That's right. He's off to the Panthers now, so discard what I just said. I'm kind of a casual when it comes to the Jacksonville Jaguars because, just like everyone else, I forget they exist. But I think the Jaguars are going to take this game. Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne, and Calvin Ridley and Evan Ingram are all a very, 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 very good core. That's a very good core they got there in Jacksonville. Cleveland, their offense struggled, really teetered against the Cowboys, which credited the Cowboys' defense is good. But without Nick Chubb and Deshaun Watson just not looking too great, I don't really see much hope for the Cleveland Browns. Las Vegas versus Baltimore. Now, this is going to be a bloodbath. It's not going to be pretty for Las Vegas as they just aren't good. I think the Ravens are going to run away with this game, maybe win by 30. Lamar Jackson's going to have a great game, which is good for me. That's my fantasy quarterback right there. Hopefully, on top of fantasy point of view, hopefully they use Mark Andrews as more than a glorified 6th offensive lineman. This game, I could really use more than 3.4 fantasy points from him. But that's besides the point. Baltimore takes this game with ease. Los Angeles Rams versus the Cardinals. Both teams impressed me a lot week 1 and played much better games than I had expected. I expected Arizona to be a punching bag again this year, and I also expected the Rams to maybe drop down to a punching bag this year. Had it not been for their week 1 performances, this would have been my toilet bowl pick of the week. I'm just kidding. No, the Giants are just so bad. They're probably going to be the toilet bowl game of the week almost every week. But I'm going to have to take the Rams in this game. I think the Rams' offense with Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua are still extremely good. The defense will look a little shaky from time to time this year as they don't really have a go-to guy on that defense anymore with the departure of Jalen Ramsey and the retirement of Aaron Donald. That really hurt them. But I still think they're going to win this game. Arizona had a couple of really lucky plays in that game against the Bills in week 1. But their special teams did impress me, and the defense also impressed me. But the Rams will take it. The field goal merchants versus the Denver Broncos. Sorry, I meant the Steelers versus the Broncos. Justin Fields had a pretty good week 1 against the Atlanta Falcons. But I genuinely, I can't see him. I can see him having a duplicate performance pending he even starts. Russell Wilson might be back this week. I'm not too sure. But they got to learn how to punch the ball in the end zone. It's a lot of Arthur Smith's play calling. As someone who is a Falcons fan on top of being a Bills fan as well, fan of both teams. It's a long story. I'll tell you all about it on another time. But Arthur Smith is just not good when he gets to the red zone in terms of play calling. So it's not really Justin Fields' fault that he wasn't able to punch it in for 6 at any point during this past game. But they're going to have to learn how to if they want to win these games because they can't keep relying on Chris Boswell to make 6 field goals every single game. But the Steelers will take this one over the Broncos as the Broncos are not good. Bengals versus Chiefs. If this was a game that did not involve week 1 or 2 Joe Burrow, I would potentially be taking the Bengals in this game. But we know how week 1 and 2 Joe Burrow goes. It's not very good. He's not very good in the first 2 weeks of the season. I'm going to have to take the Chiefs here pretty comfortably, especially playing in Arrowhead. But this is definitely going to be my game of the week right here. My game of the week is going to be obviously what the game of the weeks usually are. It's just the best games of the week, the ones that everyone's going to be watching. But another game that most people might be watching, maybe, is Chicago versus Houston. Not for the fact that it's a good game, just for the fact that it is a primetime game. It's a Sunday night game, and it's got the high-powered, but should be high-powered Houston offense facing a Bears team that still is going to take a little bit of time to find its footing, obviously with a rookie quarterback and a new number 1 weapon. It's going to take some time. They're not going to be perfect. They're not going to be quick out the gates, but they will figure something out eventually, or at least they better hope they do, because if not, Caleb Williams is going to turn out like every other Bears quarterback ever. Not great. But I'm going to take the Houston Texans in this game. for the reasons I stated. High-powered offense versus a team still trying to find its footing. Now my Atlanta Falcons versus the Philadelphia Eagles. The less said about this game, the better for my sanity, as we are just going to get battered. They're going to have their way with us. It's not going to be pretty. The Falcons' offense is going to have to take a couple weeks to find itself, and unfortunately, in those couple weeks where we're trying to find ourselves, we have to play the Eagles and the Chiefs. And we also had to play a very prolific Steelers defense, that's just about all they're good at is defense and special teams. So, expect the Eagles to have a field day this game. If not, it's going to be a very defensive matchup because the Falcons' defense is really good. Don't get me wrong, but the Eagles' offense is probably debatably better. So, those are my predictions for the week. I will, obviously, the opening of next week's predictions, I will review my predictions and give you my record. Hopefully I can finish the season well over 500. I feel like a season like this is going to be pretty predictable, as there are very clear bad teams and very clearly good teams this year, but there are also a lot of mediocre teams. So we'll see how the season goes. Those are my predictions for week 2. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. And if you haven't, go take a look at my YouTube short, which was a review of the Bills-Dolphins game of Thursday Night Football, which was, well, by the time I'm recording this, last night. It was a good game to watch, but yeah, go watch my review. It's a YouTube short. And if you guys enjoy this type of content, I'm kind of pivoting over to more sports, but I will still be doing some gaming, as you saw on my channel beforehand. I'll still be doing some of that on occasion, but as I said, more of a focus on sports now. Hopefully you guys enjoy that, and if you guys do, please subscribe to the channel, like this video if you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys after Monday Night Football. Hopefully it's a good game, but I will catch you guys later. Peace.